What is happening, party people? So, what's up? My name's Josh. This is Parables of Josh. And what I've been trying to do is structure this in a pretty logical way. But it's funny because I have something that's been coming up in life and it fits into this perfectly. Get you check my phone real quick? Scam! Um, alright, so I'm 31 years old. I have six kids. In 2014, I was a heroin addict. I went and got sober, but the way that I got sober was by using plant medicine. By all means, I should have died. I weighed 117 pounds when I got sober, and a lot of weird stuff has happened since then. I live in a beautiful six-bedroom house. I have six lovely children. Um, I am a hip hop artist. I make music. I have a lot of friends with really interesting, diverse backgrounds. A lot of them are very successful on the internet and have encouraged me to kind of share and connect with people on here. And I'll tell you what's really interesting. I have a lot of people that ask me, like, how'd you do it, man? Tell us the secret. I had this older gentleman, his name's Kumar. He's in his 70s, an Indian dude in his 70s, and he goes, one day he pulls me aside. I go to the sauna a lot. That's where I spend most of my time when I'm not working or with the kids. He goes, what is your secret? I've been watching you, and you know everyone, and you know something about everyone, and you talk to them about their mother or their girlfriend or their business, and everyone loves you. What is your secret? Do you read a lot of books? And I'm like, listen, Kumar, my secret is that I'm autistic, and that I think that everyone is an encyclopedia just waiting to be read. And so when I talk to people, I try to talk to them in a way that opens up doors. Everyone's got some information. Furthermore, if you're a spiritual person or you believe in God, one thing I realized a long time ago is that I was asking God for lottery tickets, opportunities. And I was that person who was just like lone wolf, you know, fucking headphones on in the sauna, just hiding from the world, right? Just me and mine. That's what I'm focused on. And then at some point it dawned on me, oh, the lottery ticket I'm asking God for could be sitting right next to me, but I'm so full of myself that I'm not even connecting with it, right? That thing that you're asking for could be sitting right next to you, but if you never engage with anything but yourself, you'll never get that. It's like that Alan Watts quote, the one about problem with a thinker is all they have are thoughts. It's kind of like that. When you're just the person who's like, I'm the lone wolf. It's like, yeah, dog, you are the lone wolf. That's not gonna get you anywhere. You want to be in a wolf pack, dude? Come on. Don't you know anything about wolves? Lone wolves die alone and far from home usually. But I digress. People have asked me a lot, how did you get all the things you've gotten? How have you built the life that you've built? And I think it's in two parts. One is I'm not judgmental of my situation in the same way anymore. I used to be really judgmental of how things worked out. I thought that rigidity was going to make way for opportunity. And there's nuance to this. What I'd say is the uniform the universe does not reward rigidity in the way that we think it does. Just look at nature, for example. Nature rewards adaptability, but it does not necessarily reward preparation. Humans, we have these stupid monkey brains, so we think that we are prepared. Wow, that was a goofy looking. Must have got messed up in the washing machine. It's all spun up. Um, we think that we're the ones in control, but we're fucking not, dude. You know. So I don't know. I'm a naturally inquisitive person. I read a lot of books. Um, I'm very reflective, and it all started with that journey where I was a drug addict, and I came to realize like, oh, everything in this game is mental. The other day, I'm sorry, I might have just skipped over what I was saying before. Whatever, we'll bring it back around. But the other day, I was sitting in the sauna and I was having this conversation with this kid, and he said, "Man, I really don't understand your life philosophy. Like, you have six kids." And he's like describing my situation. He's like, that just doesn't seem like a practical situation. And he starts listing off all the reasons why he couldn't even have one kid. And I said, look, man, the universe doesn't reward practicality. The universe is a garden, man. Whatever you put into it, it'll fucking give you. So if you play it safe, the universe will give you safe. But here's the thing: is safe oftentimes is not nearly as fulfilling as we want it to be. Sure, you aren't as stressed, but you're also not experiencing novelty in the way that someone who's not playing it safe is. And also, I think people play it safe out of like a trauma response. They, especially with parenting, I hear so many parents talk about, well, I was traumatized like this, so I'm going to do this for my kid. And it's ironic, bro. You can't fucking stop it. You can work on some of your behavior. I'm not a heroin addict anymore. I was an angry kid. I've tried to work on a lot of those things. And so I'm not passing those down to my children, but I also am not going to sit here and pretend like I can bubble wrap my children and prevent the world from traumatizing them. Being human is an innately traumatizing experience. Is that a bug? Oh my gosh. That's got, well, I haven't seen a bug in a minute. It's wintertime. Weird. Yeah, being human, it's innately traumatizing, and you trying to prevent your children from experiencing trauma, you're just going to traumatize them in a new way. It's kind of like parents who they raise their kids by like spoiling them, giving a bunch of you know things to them, and they do it because they didn't have things growing up. And so it's like, okay, so you were traumatized, so now you're going to run in the opposite direction. And oftentimes in life, it's just the pendulum swinging, right? We're just gravitating from one extreme to the other. My dad was a Republican, so I'm going to be a vegan socialist, whatever the fuck. Or my dad was a socialist, and now I'm going to be a fucking MAGA Republican. And it's like, the extremes are, I personally think, killing us as a culture and society. The truth is, you should be able to have beliefs that stem from both conservative and liberal, schools of thought. You should be able to have thoughts that are not identified to one individual group, and that's because you're human and you're fluid, dude. Like, everything exists between a spectrum. Everything. And anyone trying to convince you that you need to live and exist on one side of the aisle or the other, they're grossly misinformed, and they're not actually experiencing what it means to be human. They're just living within a certain set of parameters and hoping for a positive outcome. But back to kind of the point of this is like organization. People think that the universe operates in an organizational fashion that means that in order for us to access the abundance of the universe, we have to also exist in this organization. But the secret is the universe doesn't exist in perfect organization in the way that we think. There's this thing called chaos, and chaos is organized. There's an organization to chaos. And so if you resist these things because of the way that it emotes, feeling in you, if you resist the chaos, if you exist the pain of letting grow, if you resist these things, then you are not experiencing growth in the same way as the universe. You're not experiencing godly growth. You're experiencing your attempt at manufacturing that. And the human brain just cannot perceive what it cannot see. And so we're like just giant blank spots. We're missing the pieces. Like, from the chaos, amazing things blossom and grow. And while you're so focused on creating this perfect environment, you're just missing the fucking point, right? It's like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. We grew up in a world that told us like, do things perfectly and you'll get perfect results. And I'm a direct example of that's not the case at all. As a matter of fact, I would encourage you to do things as non perfectly as you can, because at the end of the day, the universe rewards action above perfection. The person who perfectly makes this video, the person who has the script and does all this, they're not going to be any more successful than the person who just does the thing. And it took me a long time to realize this. It's the same with kids. Bro, I have 6 kids. I'm 31 years old. I'm playing life on fucking hard mode. I jumped into the game after I got sober. Started creating businesses. I went to school and became a commercial diver. I did some underwater welding, pipeline inspection, stuff like that. I did that for a while. Had a bunch of kids. Have continued to have a bunch of kids. And you get all these people who have all of these stories about like, how do you care for your children and all this, and they're forgetting one of the main points of being human, and that's that overanalysis is not rewarded. You have to live. You have to make You have to make action. You have to make movement. You have to get some motion. Everything else is kind of just bullshit. Life is going to happen. So I jumped into this whole like life on hard mode. And my mentality is I would rather jump into life on hard mode than figure it out, as opposed to trying to figure out how to master life and then taking on the hard things. Because the truth is, I have 6 kids, bro. I'm 31 years old. I'm going to be an old man with a bunch of kids and grandkids and all this. And by then, most people may not even be having children yet. I know a lot of my friends, I have friends in their 40s and 50s who are just having kids now because they think they can afford it. And they're realizing, oh, no matter what, dude, you're never going to be able to afford it. You're never, like, you know, this is an interesting thing. Everyone's so focused on success, on money. And the truth is a lot of those people are not going to have the success that they're waiting for. They tell themselves, oh, someday, oh, somehow. Once I have this, then I'll do that. I think that's like the biggest trap in human history is the trap of telling yourself, once this, then this, right? Once this, then this. Once I have $1 million, then I'll pursue my dreams. Once I have a girlfriend, then I'll be courageous. Once I, can raise my testosterone level, then I won't be tired. Once I am fulfilled, then I'll like my job. And it's like, bro, you're setting yourself up for failure. The truth is it's a one-step solution, and that is once I am grateful, I'll be satiated. Once I'm grateful, everything will start to make sense. Once I am grateful, the cards will fall into place. But it also, again, like I said at the beginning, it comes with non-judgment too. If tomorrow I were to experience a collapse of one of my businesses, I wouldn't take it personally. I wouldn't stress about it. If I were to be homeless tomorrow, and I live in a beautiful fucking 6-bedroom house in a very desired part of Colorado, if I were to lose this tomorrow, I would be grateful for everything that I have, not crying over what I don't have. See, I understand that life is a story, and that stories have all sorts of twists and turns, and there are these characters and these lessons and these morals and all these things, and the idea is participation above all else. You need to participate in the story of your life. You can't just be a miserable prick who goes around expecting perfection, expecting themselves to do everything perfectly, expecting the world to operate in a calculable way. The truth is, guess what, bro? Sometimes it doesn't make any fucking sense. Your girlfriend might bang the mailman. Why? Because she wanted to bang the fucking mailman. But when you try to sit and make sense of it, you're robbing yourself of your peace and your presence. And so, yeah, dude, I guess we could title this video The Non-Uniformity of the World. We're so busy trying to create uniformity out of chaos. And the universe has uniformity. Like, it has this immaculate structure. But the problem is our brains are so dumb that we look at destruction and we go, oh no, that's bad chaos. The universe looks at destruction and goes, that's creation. Destruction is one of the most powerful forms of creation. Destruction creates space. So how did I end up where I am today? I stopped judging myself. I stopped judging my circumstances. I started being immensely grateful, and I stopped being such a rigid fucking douchebag. I know that I'll always be taken care of. I know the universe will always provide. I know that I will always have a conscience, a heart. I know that life will lead me down the roads it's going to lead me down, and that at the end of the day, I have no fucking control over the story arc as it occurs. We like to act like we have control, right? Does a tree have control of, whether or not it grows into a tree? No. Does a monkey have control of whether or not it grows into a swinging branch-to-branch monkey? No. Do humans have control over what we become? We like to think we do, but I don't believe we do. I'm not talking about free will necessarily here. What I'm talking about is you're largely a product of your internal thoughts, your environment, your programming, and the fact that you're just a human. You can't go be a monkey. Sorry, bud. You can't go be a dolphin, right? You're a human. And with being a human, the irony is we've been given this gift of thinking, and it is our greatest tool, and is also our greatest obstacle, because your thinking is fucking you up, dude. Do I know how I got here? No, I don't fucking know how I got here, but I know that I surrendered to the experience a long time ago. This is where psychedelics are such powerful tools for transformation is, can you surrender to your experience and maintain gratitude? The last ayahuasca experience I had, I was on my hands and knees, butt naked on the side of a mountain, crying throwing up. I shit all over the side of a mountain. It was insane, cathartic, destructive, and the whole time I cried out and I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I was getting my ass whooped. God was revealing to me all of my bullshit, all of my struggles, my lies, my ego, all these things that we all fucking carry. And God said, look, it's right there. Your bullshit's in a pile. Will you stand by it? And I said, yes. And it was a battle. I was like, no, I don't want to stand by this. No, that's my shame. Don't pull that out. And I realized in this that the answer is always gratitude. Every time I fucked up, I'm the first one to admit it. Every time I make a mistake, I'm the first one to admit it. And then I try to accept it and move on. Because I know that the order of the universe is chaotic. It is not linear. It's the same with healing. Everyone has this idea that, oh, well, you go and you heal. First time I did a 10-day silent meditation retreat, I came back and my mother-in-law was like, is he going to get a good job now? Like, does he know all the answers to life? It's like, no, I don't know the answers to life. Now, what I do know is how to deal with the sensation that's coming up over the fact that I am on an out-of-control rock flying through space and time. And the truth is, we're all on this out-of-control rock flying through space and time. And so the only thing that you have control over, right, which is largely by design as well. Again, destruction is a form of creation. In order for you to have everything you want in this life, you have to be willing to lose everything you have. In order for you to gain the world, you oftentimes have to lose it. In order for you to understand the joy of living, you have to experience the pain of dying, right? It's this dichotomy that actually makes life worth living. And so many of us have been sold this bullshit idea of a static life. I just want to be happy. I just want to, it's antidepressants are a great one. People are like, I'm just depressed. I need something that I can just do that'll just make me happy. And it's like, no one's supposed to be fucking happy here. Who sold you the idea that you're supposed to be happy always? It's the same with hormone therapy, testosterone therapy. You get all these dudes who are like, yeah, I take testosterone because my test was low. Dog, who told you your test was always supposed to be high? Also, well, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. If you want to listen to me bitch about, the hormone therapies, testosterone, all that bullshit, you can go listen to my Psychedelics and Health. I talk about it in there. This is the dichotomy, right? I think that people are massively missing this in the spiritual community and the psychedelic community. So many people are just so whacked out on the love and light, everything is beautiful. It's like, yeah, bro, it is. But it's also fucked, and it's cathartic, and it's messy, and it crumbles, and it burns down, and sometimes you have to rise from the ashes. Sometimes you have to rebuild from your pile of rubble, and that's beautiful and cathartic as well. But when you deny that catharsis by pretending like it's this, like, this is so beautiful, like you're not actually experiencing what life is trying to offer you to experience. You're not experiencing the pain, the suffering. You're only fixated on the joy. And in life, I think that there is a very important distinction between, only like faking it till you make it, the love and light bullshit, and honoring when the sadness and the anger and the chaos of life brings you to your knees. And so, I don't know, where were we even going with this, guys? Does it make sense? For some people, it will. For some people, they've been through so much in their lives that they hear someone talk about honoring the fucking chaos, and they go, yeah, dude, yeah, I felt that. I cried when I lost this thing. My heart was shattered in a million pieces. I close my eyes, I can still feel the feeling. And what an honor, because now in my joy, I have that contrasting experience. There's also this kind of interesting phenomenon where if you are suffering and you are not present in your suffering, you won't be present in your joy either. If your life is falling the fuck apart right now, if everything is crumbling around you and you're distracting yourself, you're getting high, you're avoiding the feelings that you're feeling, when your joy shows up, you're going to be on autopilot. It's like Adam Sandler in Click. You're going to have fast forward through the bad times, and then your brain is going to automatically fast forward through the good times because your brain is stupid, because we're humans and we were given this tool, and this tool, this brain, is a wonderful servant but a terrible master. And so many people are being ruled by their brain, by their emotion, by the sensation of suffering. So if there's anything you can do, man, be grateful. Know that there is no organization to this thing, that everything that you're telling yourself is mostly bullshit as far as the rules of the universe go, that tomorrow you could be hit by a bus and you could also win the lottery. It was actually really funny. So maybe 3 years ago now, I was driving Uber and this guy put a gun to my head and drove me around for fucking like an hour. I managed to escape, but so this guy puts a gun to my head. I fucking quit Uber in that night. I went home and I stop at a gas station I stop at every night. And there's this old man who works there and he's like maybe 70 something years old and he fucking is always so grumpy and mean. And that night he was really happy. I'm like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "I just won the Mega Millions," and he had just won $30 million. And I thought, man, what a contrasting experience. I just had a gun put to my head. I thought my life was over, and this old man just won $30 million. Like, isn't that fucking crazy? It's beautiful, but the beauty of it is there is no intentional design to that other than the intention of experiential wisdom and experience itself, and that is the greatest gift. No amount of money is going to give you the experiential wisdom necessarily. No amount of poverty is going to give it to you. The world is neutral, and it is you who assigns it value. But your gratitude, bro, if you can just hold on to that gratitude as you experience these ebbs and flows in life, tremendous, tremendous gifts will come your way. It's not as it seems. I know this video seems a little bit chaotic, maybe a little bit out there, right? Because a lot of people they find security in like the predictability of life. Like, it's the same reason on here I've been making these videos every day right here is because it creates a sense of like security. It makes people comfortable. They go, "Okay, I know what's going to happen," right? You're giving people what they're used to and it helps build trust, right? And so the way people have built trust with the universe is by doing the same things over and over again, getting the result and going, "Oh, okay, if I press button A, B, and C, my fucking jetpack kicks on." Because this is a video game. Kind of. A little bit. Someone's playing it. I don't know if it's us, but... So the predictability creates comfort, and I think that the secret, right, the secret to manifestation, the secret to creation is, can you become comfortable in the uncomfortable? Can you become comfortable in the discomfort, the chaos, the destruction? Can you live outside of the matrix? Can you be a glitch in the matrix? And the way you do that is by expressing insanely large amounts of gratitude, moving forward, dissolving all of the boundaries. There are no fucking rules here. If you need money, you can go get money. If you want to build something, you can go build something. If you need a friend, you can go find a friend. There are no physical rules here that govern your capabilities. You are capable of doing anything you fucking want to in the entire world. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And yeah, just being grateful as shit happens, like as you're feeling these sensations, as things hurt, as suffering occurs, just being so grateful, dude. I'm so fucking grateful. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for all of the wonders of this life and all the pain and suffering and destruction as well. And I think that's the way it should be. What do I know, though? I mean, that's the other thing, dude, is this message. Some people hear this message and they'll go, "Yeah, that makes sense." Some people hear this and be like, "This guy's a fucking tool and this shit is all over the place." But I don't think it's all over the place. I think it's very easily understandable. But it takes some detachment and acceptance of the fact that what you're asking for in life, it's not that simple. You're asking for security, for guarantees, But where, I mean, this is a great example. What place is going to give you the most security and guarantees in life? Well, a prison. And so a lot of people live in a prison of their own making, and it is built by these walls and these roles that they have assigned, and the entire time they were just reaching security, right? My belief is if you want true freedom, you have to be a wanderer. You have to walk into the world naked and know that you're going to leave the world naked, and from the time you're born to the time you die, all you can do is maintain your gratitude and maintain your relationship to sensation, right? As the sensations come up, as the fear comes up, as the stress comes up, as the anger, sadness, as all these things come up, can you continue moving forward? Yes, you can. We all can. That's what this is all about, right? And if you're having trouble with that and you want to be more comfortable, I urge you, find a way to meet the comfort head on, dude. Really, do things that make you extremely uncomfortable. That all of my success in life has come from me doing things that make me really fucking uncomfortable. Selling things that I had no business selling. I'm not talking like drugs or anything. I'm talking like I had shitty sales experience and I'm out here trying to sell, expensive ass products. Building things that I had no business building by any logical means. Um, pursuing things that I had no business pursuing, and just trusting. Dude, my life has been one giant, what is it called? Trust fall. So, anywho, love you guys. This has been a mindless rambling. I wouldn't say it's quite a schizo rambling, but hey. What is insanity? Insanity is abstract thought that is ungrounded. Fortunately, I'm grounded in my abstract thought. I can sit here and have a conversation with you about your grandma, and then we can talk about how this is probably a simulation. All right? The most intelligent mathematical minds in the world think this is some sort of simulation. Now, that doesn't mean there's no God. That doesn't mean that this is void of spiritual essence. What it means is that there's a purpose behind the development of this reality and that it is here for a reason, and the reason has some sort of association with a product or output, right? That's it. That's simulation theory, right? Um, yeah, I don't know. So, love you guys. Life is good. Enjoy that eclipse tomorrow night or full moon or whatever it is. Anyway, love you guys. Peace.